Welcome everyone to another episode of Netratva, the leadership talk series of I Am Udaipur. Driven by the promise of creating leaders for future, I Am Udaipur has come a long way ever since its inception. One way of staying in touch with the industry is by learning from leaders, by listening to their insights and experiences of the corporate world. Thus, Netratva as a platform acts as an enabler for such interactions where students can learn from global industry leaders. Bolstered by being youngest Indian management institute to be listed in global FT MIM rankings and to achieve QS 2021 global rankings, the institute keeps raising the bar by enlightening young minds and with brilliant leadership insights. To keep the flame alive, we have today guest of honor, the speaker for the day, Mr. Sanjay Srivastava. Mr. Srivastava has a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from University of Rajasthan and a certificate in international marketing from IFT. He has a work experience across different companies such as Lenovo and Tata Solar. Sanjay sir has over 2 decades of industry experience across operations and human resources. Currently, he is the HRBP Global Operations of Secure Meters. We also have with us today Ms. Batul Habib, Team Leader HR at Secure Meters. The topic for today is Restart Sailing Through the Crisis. Given the current set of affairs in the ongoing pandemic, I'm sure the topic will entail a lot of doubts. I request all the attendees to wait until the end of session for the questions. We thank you for taking your time out. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Quick question, Ishita, are we recording this?
Yes, so we are recording the session.
Okay. Thank you. So, good evening, friends. Now, this is something very unusual. I am not very used to this. So now, I am, because I have a colleague with me, so I have to continue wearing a mask, and so do her. But I hope I am clearly audible. Can you check with the people? Is the technology working fine?
I guess you're audible, sir.
Right, and you can see the screen on the presentation. It's all fine.
Yes, sir.
Bhaskar.
No issues.
Okay. Okay.
No
Good
issues, sir.
evening again. So I have, the way I thought we will talk through this session is first to understand from the student themselves. March 22, 2020. What was that date? Do you can somebody respond to me? Is it possible? Oh,
So people are responding in the chat box.
yeah. I'm trying to get through that. Lockdown, Janta curfew. Yes. So, what was the environment like? What did the environment felt like? I mean, what was the feeling that was coming to your mind? Yes, the lockdown was practically announced, but what was something which was, not which you felt as an environment? Confusion, somebody panic, fear, yes, uncertain, anxiety, caged and panic. So what does this all mean in terms of, you are all, management students? So these are the things what, in the business world also affect us, what we call as uncertainty, right? And then we have suddenly changing environment, state of panic, just for a short line, month or so, uncertain, ambiguity. Another word, ambiguous, shortage of supply, uncertainty, apprehension situation. So, apprehension, ambiguity, uncertainty, volatility, volatile, somebody has written. And also, very difficult to comprehend what is going to happen. Disruption in normal life. Absolutely right. So, what we can talk about this is these are four keywords: the ambiguity, uncertainty, volatility, and complexity. What principally in the management terms they call is VUCA environment. V for volatility, U for uncertainty, C for complexity, and A for ambiguity. And what do you do in this kind of situation as a management person? Anybody? Unpredictable, volatile, uncertain situation. What somebody would look to do? Stabilize, look for solution, strategize. Yeah. find out way, gather data and forecast, very important. Yes, opportunity, adapt, go proactive, analysis of the situation, fantastic, innovate, stabilize, alternatives, fantastic, plan and organize, planning. So how do you deal with the uncertainty? Uncertainty is what you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. That means you have to invest more on information. You have to plan things. You have to look forward to find out information and try to figure out the best it works in conjunction with the changes that you have to make. Similarly, for volatility, what you do is bring in slack or preparedness in your resources, whether resources are in terms of money, people, inventory, or whatever. Similarly, on the ambiguity, what you try to do is you experiment. Somebody has just written improvise and adapt. Absolutely right. So you experiment and improvise your things. You do not know in such a situation what will work or what will not work. So you have to continuously adapt yourself and make experiments. Most of the engineers in the house will know there is something called design of experiments, right? So that is where the ambiguity can be dealt with. The complexity is an environment where there is less interconnection and so many variables that you cannot figure out one clear message in the environment. So what do? You develop some specialists to figure out how well you can deal with it. If you don't have a specialist, you find out and you make connections with the specialist available. Why I'm talking about all this is this is how Secure as an organization started to respond the global pandemic when it broke out. So sailing through the pandemic based on whatever we had, and this was March 22 I talked, up to 20th of April things were standstill. Nobody was allowed to go out. There was no government permission to start any organizations like we have. So even very small firms who were few people, they could gather the paper permissions and do some activities. But at Secure, we could only do that work for some very very small activity which are 24/7, where we do some services for UK market and all. So those things have to run like the electricity department, the water department, the necessity thing that comes under that, and that permission was given and they continued to work, and we uh, uh, continue to run that. But that's a very very small number of people which were engaged in that. So when it came to 20th of April, the goals that we set for ourselves, the topmost was, of course, the safety of the staff and to look forward serving our customers and try to figure out how to smoothly start our business. Now, I have just told you about the environment that we were in, and that was an environment where none of us in this particular generation, living generation, has any time faced that kind of a situation. Today, sitting 1 year ahead, there is a lot of knowledge, there is a lot of certainty, there is a lot of things that we know about what is it all about. But I'm talking about last year, same time, where things were very, very unclear. So having said these goals, the key thing, how to go about the plan for the things. Now remember, as I said, in those days, we did not know. Even the government was also announcing initially it was for 3 weeks and then another 2 weeks, then another week. That is the way that things were going. Even nobody was clear how to look at the long term of this. So can you talk about this planning thing now?
Yeah, so here in Secure, when things were really uncertain at the government end as well, so we had some short-term plans, like 15 days we used to look forward, and gradually we planned our startup activities. Why? Because it was a year end, the financial year was ending, and we had to close a lot of transaction. And this lockdown happened on 22nd. So it was almost the last week of the year. So therein we planned that we will at least complete the financial year end activities, and so how to go about it. So then those permissions and the licensing with the uh, all the government officials came into picture. So all our team, whether it is being administration, HR, everybody collaborated and tied up with the government authorities and actually found the ways out how we could operate with smaller number of people and complete those activities. Now, though that smaller group was not very well equipped with everything in the factory, so they were having their own specific role in pre-COVID, but we could see that people adapted to other roles and they could actually help us complete the year-end activities. Though the first actual plan was to complete the year-end activities. So we did a startup phase, and we entered a startup phase with a smaller group of people in the month of April. And then we could proceed for the recovery phase. Now, there were again a lot of planning involved in recovery phase, wherein we could actually give a kick to the business again.
So the key thing is that during that time only we thought of that we will do it in two phases. We will first do a safe startup of a closed down factory. It is rare occasion that our factory is completely closed down for a month. So the rarest of occasion. I mean, I have not heard of in last my 10 years of my experience in this organization. So so we said that first few weeks will be startup, and then we gave ourselves 13 weeks to recover ourselves, the business where we were, we left. And then within 13 weeks of our next, that is about 3.5 months, that we will recover our business to where we were in terms of capacities and the way we were working and the kind of things that we were doing. Luckily so, because we are in a business which is very closely linked to the essential services, and that's where we were categorized into that category from the government perspective as well. And also our customer had huge demand, and our order book was good and healthy to continue to serve our customers. थोड़ा अजीब है यहाँ पे, क्योंकि हम generally I'm used to the questions coming in between.
Yeah.
So pardon me, I will sometimes on my own stop talking. So some of the key challenges are written here. So what we thought of as an overall thing, that to keep our people safe, we thought of an idea that we will keep everybody around the factory. Our factory is located in a village called Kaladwas, which is in the outskirts of Udaipur. And luckily so, there is a resort just next to our building, which is Cambe Resort. So that was the first place we hired. And the first group which came into the factory was, moved into Cambe Resort to live there permanently and work from there only. So they can walk back into the factory and then go back into the resort in their rooms, respective rooms. So we envisaged a residential shift kind of a working. So what we did was we hired this resort and a couple of more hotels. Then there was a engineering college, Techno NJR, very close to our factory. And there is a nursing college also. So what we did, we hired the modules which can accommodate one person each. And they were put in the large halls of those engineering college and the nursing college to accommodate our people. So we started with a bare number of 100 people in the first few weeks and slowly ramped to 700 people in a shift. So each group of 700 people will come in one go. So that is a group A. The other group of 700 people is at home during rest days. So every group will work one fortnight in the factory, and they will do residential shift and living in all those places. So you can imagine the kind of facilities that were created, which are also written on here, to cater to the needs of those people for living and working. And because they were living very close by and they were not allowed to go out because the all other things were almost shut down, so we took that opportunity and uh, looked at them to work for a longer hours compared to what they normally will work, and they were more than happy to do that. The key thing what Batul was talking earlier was many of our people who were striving from within and trying to combat with the most uncertain and complex situation that they ever faced in their life, and they took up challenges whether it is their role or not. Whether a person is working in quality, he started working in production. A person working in production started looking after the administration thing or the HR activities. So the role, the cap was all gone. It had gone diluted to an extent that uh, it becomes a very cohesive group who was striving to make sure that we continuously move towards our goal. So the key thing here is what is now we are going to talk about.
The cross-functional responsibilities actually. So for if you talk about residential shifts, I can talk long because I have been part of those shifts, like establishing those shifts and living in those shifts. So that was a real collaboration and a teamwork across Secure, you can say. So here, not only in Udaipur, we started our plant later on in Sanand and Solan as well, in the same pattern, like getting people here and residing there for 15 days. So, and after completing the 15 days and 12-hour shifts each day, that group used to go back to their home, work from home if eligible. And for the operator level people, those who actually directly contribute to the production, they are the color doers, they used to actually relax at their homes, but still they were paid fully. So because 15 days they're working 12 hours a day, and they go back, and the next group, the changeover happens every like 2 weeks, 12 days, ideally 12 days, not 15 days, but 2 weeks they used to be here, and then the changeover used to happen on Sundays. And then the other group used to reside nearby locations, as sir mentioned. There was a few hotels, colleges. Yes, we took special care of the female employees here, considering the safety measures, and we actually accommodated them in hotels rather than the colleges. There are a number of reasons why female need privacy. So colleges had common washrooms, but here in Cambay, they used to reside in rooms, and rooms like twin sharing rooms, we used to allot them. There were other hotels hired nearby the factory. So that is how we could actually manage people, residing here away from home, but still feeling at home. So we have given every facility to them. Secure actually served them breakfast, lunch, dinner, the evening snacks. Everything was paid by the company, and they used to take care of every in case of any medical emergencies. They were every time there were vehicles available in case. But once you are out of this place, you cannot come back. So that was a ground rule, so that we don't mix up with the people here staying here, and because they are all quarantined and nobody else was the visitors were not allowed at that time. So that is how we ensure the safety of people and not coming in close contact and getting exposed to the outer world. So this is how we could actually manage the show in the residential shift when people were very safe. So I would say till August, so till September, we worked in this pattern. Till 26 September, there were residential shifts, there were groups changing over. So 10 residential shifts we actually operated here in Udaipur, Sanand and Solan. So it was all across the organization. And yes, as sir mentioned, the essential services were running Like in Bhilwara, we have our matron billing things. So those were counted as essential service. So people were on the field, and still their safety was our responsibility, and we ensured all the government advisories to be followed across Secure.
Then, at different times, we also had challenges that, different governments, within India, the status in Rajasthan and Gujarat, where we have another plant, and Himachal, we have another third plant. So there was a difference, but in our Gujarat plant, as well as in our Himachal plant, the plant itself had enough space to put up that modules within the factory, and people would live there, work there, eat there, and do, every facility was available to them within the factory for those 15 days. But in Udaipur, we didn't had space and in within the factory. So looking at the space requirement of those modules to be put, we hired places around. And being in this place at Udaipur, where there are several hotels and the colleges around our location. What you see on this screen is, a handmade caricature of, social distancing and, mask and cubicles and all. This is all done by our team here. So instead of using the real pictures, we thought these are much better to communicate the ideas that we want to say. Again, in the similar fashion, you will find these pictures in this slide also. So adherence of COVID guidelines.
So as I mentioned, from the day one, we actually adhered to whatever guidelines the government gave us, the government issued. So it was all across Secure. Everything was done as per the government advisories, whether maintaining the social distancing in the canteen, in the factories, entire factory layout, the assembly lines layout were adjusted as considering the social distancing norms. So this was also a big challenge. Normally operators sit very near to each other while doing the assembly work. But the line layouts were designed and changed, actually modified, considering the social distancing part. Even when we serve people in the canteen, we used to maintain that social distancing norms. Like the lunch timings were staggered for people at different areas, in different zones in the factory. So this is how the factory was divided into different work sections, and the tea timings, the lunch timings, the breakfast timings, everything was staggered. So even the body temperature check, wearing of mask, it is still compulsory, and we actually initiated the mask making in-house only when the plant was restarted. So we initiated, even before the restart of the plant, like when there was.
See, those were the days where even mask was in scarcity. What to
Yeah.
talk about sanitizer and all that stuff. Mask was a scarcity in the marketplace. So we devised that, some of our people, we bought the cloth from the market and delivered it to some of our people who handcrafted those masks with the design, given design, at home during the lockdown between March 22nd and April 20th. So when we came back on 20th April, we had 6,000 masks available with us for all our people to use those masks. And the lady sitting here was leading that activity.
So before people could come to the factory, we distributed the masks when we actually picked up them from their residences. So we gave them masks then and there, so that they get used to the thing that wearing of mask, and people actually followed it very nicely. So there was no, we also felt safe there. Plant sanitization, yes. After every changeover, the plant was sanitized, and after the shifts ended, the entire plants was regularly sanitized. The canteens, the buses, wherein we communicated from Secure plant to the hotels or the colleges. It was very nearby, but we commuted through buses. So those buses were sanitized regularly.
So how many of you are from engineering background? I know a lot of you, and also worked in the factory environment as well. I met a couple of people from that background. How many of factory workers have actually heard about work from home in a factory environment? Now I will share what happened here before we ended up with COVID. Never. So more or less you can't think of. And I remember those days when the operation leadership sitting here, I as an HR business partner, brought over that topic with a kind of a policy document for work from home for our teammates. And literally speaking, during that discussion, that document was thrown out of window. Don't talk about it in operations. And here is a situation where this became a reality, where everybody was locked in home, which played a massive role. And there are some pictures. One of our colleague is cooking and also having his laptop nearby. So those were the kind of things, and people were continuously working from home, even when they were not in the factory. This happened between March 22nd to April 20 to do all those planning without moving out of their home. So every single person was contacted, every person who has to come here, they were given all the instructions, they were given all the do's and don'ts, they were given trainings, and all those stuff was happening right sitting at home. And this is the first time in the operations team this thing started. Anything you want to add?
So just I would like to add not only about the business, but Secure was equally concerned about people's salary. So we never thought of it that we could disburse the salaries on time, because it was the year end and the month end when we actually were locked up. But yes, our team actually worked beyond the limits, and as for the timelines, like we were not delayed on the salaries also. So we disbursed the salaries, even the stipend of the trainees, whether it's a contractual employee or a permanent employee, everybody actually, bank accounts got credited with the salaries on time, as we do it in the normal days.
So, moving on, in terms of what Sensite do is a continuous engagement program. We run, and we had this poetry day today. So we had a group of people reciting their poetries and engaging. Now everything is happening online. These photographs are some of the examples. Even we do a celebration called SAMS Day, which is all Sensites, and it's like a annual day for the whole organization coming together in Udaipur, and where the participation and all the things are done by the people for the people. So very few external agencies are hired to do those activities. So that's the kind of engagement that Secure as an organization runs. So once the things got stabilized in this, we thought of doing the virtual engagement activities almost every week. Some of those pictures is like Father's Day. Incidentally, it's me with my son and Batul with her father. So as we moved on, we looked at what other activities do we need to do, and this is the first time that we did the virtual campus recruitment. Yes, we do a lot of campus recruitment for the engineers, the fresh engineers that we hire in various universities, and we continue to hire from the places where we have our MOU signed with those universities, and they were also happy. And by this time, because we start we normally take the last semester trainee in January, so they join in January. So between August to December we do the hiring, and January these people join and they do the last semester of their engineering with us as a last semester training, and on July 1st, because on their letter of joining, they also have a joining letter for graduate engineer trainee on July 1st. So that has happened. And in connection with that, so there was all remote onboarding of people. Believe me, we had never ever thought of these things happening, without a human touch. Now that's, I mean, I am always feeling whenever I'm doing anything for with the large audience in this kind of a setup, I personally don't feel very, very comfortable. Do you agree with me? अभी देखो इसको. Do you agree with me that okay, I can see thumbs up somewhere.
So people are responding in the chat box.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I have the chat box open now. All this what we did for prevention of and safekeeping of people, government as an organization, or the government organization, several of them were keeping a very close eye on us, that are we following or not. So we were audited for all the processes that we run, that we are keeping the safe distance between the people while we are running. We are making sure that the facilities are okay and people are keeping safe here. And we were also subjected to test. So approximately 300 SEM sites were tests during the pandemic. And we didn't get a single positive case from the plant at any of these testings. So the large groups, you say 300 out of 700 group was taken twice.
Twice, yeah. This was
It
one
happened
in
twice.
June, and the other one was in July end.
So both the groups which were running here were tested. So approximately, 45% of our people were tested with this random sample, and none of them were tested positive during that period. And that's perhaps, and I have some videos and people talking to us and telling that when we are at home, we are more fearful than we are at factory. We see ourselves more safe while we are in factory. And that's the kind of trust that we could win with the people. And there is a large number of females also involved who left their home, their kids, their family behind, and came here and worked with us. And all our employees, even the designations were kept aside, even the roles were kept aside, and they continued to work. It is like a cause that we are. Even today, the bubble continues. Today, we have all the people coming from home. The residential shifts are over, as he said, in September. Beyond that, what we did was those bubbles continue in all the factories of ours. So it has been a group of people. So A shift has got 700 people, B shift has got 700 people, and the C shift has got some 100 people. So these bubbles are kept that way. So whenever they are interchanged between the two shifts, the whole lot will go at once. They will not intermingle between the two groups. So that is what we call as bubbles. I will not go to factory every now and then. Inside, I am not allowed to go. If I have to go, I have to wear the whole gear. So the administration block people are 50% in capacity called in the factory, and other 50% will work from home. And this continues every fortnight. They will change over between them. So every function has got few people. So half of them will work here and half of them work from home. And this is how the modus operandi that we are running today. Even today, when the shift changeover takes place, there is a big shed we have kept. So the A shift, B shift people will first come in the buses, and then they will sit in that shed. Then the A shift will go out. Meanwhile, the buses will be vaccinated, and then these people will board the bus. And when they come out of the factory gets started, the sanitization work starts, and then the B shift group will enter after the sanitization is done. It has become so efficient that within 20 minutes time, everything takes place. Given the kind of business that we are in, we are serving our customers in India and various countries, and this is a pandemic situation where almost every country was also affected by this pandemic. So given the current scenario of things, we continued our services and we continued supply of our products too. And I would also like to mention that during this period, our new product development team uh, also managed to design a completely new product for us, which is used in the medical industry, and which was also uh, launched, manufactured and launched during this period, which is called CPAP. Have you heard about CPAP machine? CPAP is continuous positive airway pressure. It is used for people who have difficulty in breathing. Now, what we designed and developed is almost 1/4 of the cost of the CPAP which was available in market in those days. And we also did some trial runs with some hospitals and supplied them that product. So during this pandemic period, our design team was also at work doing this kind of designs uh, for the larger, So as I was talking, adapting to the new normal, Secure has got now methods, means and ways, and also a lot of knowledge has flown in. Very recently, we had an offsite for all our senior managers for doing planning for the coming few years. So what we did was the entire hotel was kept empty for 6 days prior to all of us arriving. No other guests were allowed, and all of the members who were attending there took the COVID antibody test, and there we were, and we conducted that 3 days workshop very successfully, and all of us are fine. So this has been a great learning. This environment itself has provided some big challenges to overcome. And there is another, saying that I am now remembering is, we talked about the VUCA environment in business, which is like volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. There is another full form of this is vision, understanding, clarity, and agility. Agility is the name of the name of the game in this scenario. How fast you can respond to the environment that is coming into you, and that is how it is going to affect you. All this is a measure of how much do you know about the situation, or how well can you predict the results of your actions. That is important. You take some action, sometimes your actions may or may not pay off. So you have to continuously keep checking and be agile towards the changes that the environment or the threats or the challenges that the environment will probe to you in such a situation. So that's the kind of leadership that we had. Anything else you want to add? I think we are now open for questions. I know there will be many questions.
Yes, I'm just looking for guys. If you have any questions, please raise your hand or type them in the chat box. So Mayank Mishra has a question.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, as we see that we are currently undergoing probable second wave for COVID, so should the companies be entirely shifted to the new normals, or like some are still looking to go back to the things that were pre-COVID? So should we shift to the new normal, or should we wait for COVID to end up and then we go back to things as they were?
See, as I just mentioned, in today's, even yesterday, we reviewed the whole situation, what is happening and how it is coming up in few days. So actually, we reiterated on some of the things that we had let go in terms of the way we were working. But given the understanding of the situation and all, we have retightened it we are already working in those bubbles. We are already having half the capacity of people coming to the factory. We have not let down our guard on these matters in the factories. We may have let some people in the offices, the other small offices, to start working from office in a very small way, which we were not allowing earlier. That is the thing that we started after we had knowledge about how we are going to deal with those kind of situation or challenges that we are going to pose or face in the given scenario. Spreading again, second wave, yes, it is a concern, but we think that we are prepared for it, and we perhaps will deal with it in the way we have learned. And now that we know that how will our actions, give results, what actions will give what results. So those kind of things are much better known in current scenario. Like we have all those processes running. If it's not that we have a record of people who have got infected. As I told you, no infection happened in the factory, but then the people have got infected whenever they traveled out, or many other norm. So we have got processes. If a person is identified, then anybody in the office also, if he was a close contact, he is also quarantined, subjected to test, and all those processes are now well set, so that everybody understands them well. Everybody, when they travel, they follow what the government regulations are. Then we have our internally designed self-declaration forms. If we find that somebody has given some declaration, then which is worth reviewing, then we review it and take actions accordingly. So the new normal is not letting down your guard. The new normal is keeping your guard till the time it is really dealt with. Secure is also tied up for the vaccination with the Mewad Hospital. So the employees who are eligible to have vaccination have almost gone through, and the first dose of vaccination has happened to our employees, me included.
Raman, yeah.
Okay. During the peak lockdown, now this is an interesting thing. Now the government had put a lot of key regulations, or what do you call, protocols for such movements of good. Movement of good for essentials was completely allowed, like our food material and all were being transported interstate, and they were movements of these goods. Similarly, when they allowed the factories to operate, their incoming goods and their supplies to their customer were all given due permissions during that period. Yes, we had challenges in terms of flights, because we have a lot of business with the overseas world, and the flights were scarce because the passengers were scarce. So we had to tie up, like, once a week they were having some flights. So our goods should reach to the airport or the loading station before that date of that week. Otherwise, it will delay it for 1 week. So those were the challenges for our plants and all. Once we restarted our factory and re-established our supply chain, we did interact with all our stakeholders and our suppliers and the service providers, and tied up our spaces and also the capacities that we required, because we had exactly calculated how much we are going to produce in every fortnight, because we were not doing any planning beyond any fortnight, because in those days it was becoming very, very uncertain. Even our customers were put in terms of communication, and they all understood that this is a stage where anything can go wrong tomorrow. But slowly, as people have moved on, things have started improving. Hope I have answered your question. Mohammad Faizan.
So we have another question. Raman, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, Raman.
Yeah. So that was an inspiring journey that you just told us. So I had a question. Even though even though you tackle all the problems, there still persists a problem of go motivation going down as everything changed from offline to online, and which leads to lower efficiency. So how secure tackle that problem? And also, as Mayank mentioned, there are indications that there will be a second wave. Still, that is going to affect somehow the motivation of the people who are working. So how is this going to be handled?
So there are two ways these challenges are. Is one challenge which we were facing, and we right now is not in the residential shift, but when we were in the residential shift during the up to September. So uh, our teams organized film shows in the evening, also some engagement programs in the evening, sitting far, and then the same bubble of people interacting with each other in keeping those distancing in place and trying to engage themselves in those ways. That is one kind of challenge where people living away from home and keeping themselves motivated. So the keeping one was ensuring the communication is so good that people are convinced and convicted to work for the cause. That's what Semsite is all about, and that's what secure culture is all about. That the trust that we do in our people, and the kind of as I told you earlier, that they shared with us that we feel more safe being in factory rather being in home. So motivation level in such scenarios sometimes are very high. Is the way that you have to channelize those energies and also keep them engaged towards the positive cause, not bringing in the negativity. There will be several things that will come as an issue in such a large activity that you are undergoing, but you've got to deal with every smallest person has got an issue. Our team will ensure that he is heard and he is also listened to and his problems are resolved. That is where the people are engaged, and engaged people are always highly motivated. The other side of the stories is work from home. So as I told you, we conducted, made sure every day those people working from home are contacted by their respective teams or their managers, and they will have, even the discussion was कैसे हो, ठीक ठाक हो, घर में सब ठीक है, आपका स्वास्थ्य ठीक है कि नहीं है. Even to that level, people are keeping engaged, people are being looked after, and that's the feel that comes right, top in the mind of people, that I am being looked after, and that keeps him motivated. That there was another, you guys wrote there, fear. What was the fear for the workmen or even the office people? And a lot of companies did not pay in time. You know that a lot of companies did not pay in time, did not pay for a few months, so and so forth. School teachers were not being paid. There were factories who were running but still not paying. They were paying half, those kind of things. Secure was not into any of those. Secure paid in full. In fact, the workmen who worked extra were paid extra, double the overtime. So, and everybody who were at home were being looked after, and that's where they were engaged. Motivation level goes very high when the person is engaged. Yeah, we will.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, due to paucity of time, we'll just take one last question. Jaikumar has raised his hand.
Yeah.
Jaikumar, go ahead.
I am trying to look for a video. Few minutes. I will show you. You can shoot your question meanwhile.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. That was a really good presentation, and it's really good to see Secure is adapting to the new normal as I will be interning for my summer internship at Secure, and I am really excited for the opportunity. So my question is that as we know that Secure has its presence internationally, especially in UK. So how was the situation different in UK from India?
Okay, Jay Kumar, yes, challenges in UK was very different. UK as a government reacted in a very different way. So what happened was they started, a kind of a scheme which is called furlough. Uh, I don't know if you guys understand that the government was committed to give 80% of the salary of the people. So we as an organization also utilized that scheme of government. At the same time, there was never ever a complete close down in that company, in that country. People were allowed to go for their work wherever they were unable to work from home. So in a sense, so they were, not having any complete lockdown. People were allowed to go and work. Given the situation in, okay, sorry, we were trying to set up a video to show to you because we prepared on the another device which did not connect to your system. Anyway, coming back to UK, so it was a very different environment. No lockdown, people were allowed to go. So all the people who were required to go, given the small numbers of customer to care, a very small team was kept and continued to work with all the precautions and protocol laid down in that. As I said that earlier also, that in India also we looked at different governments give different protocols at time to time, and we actually followed that. Similarly, in UK as well as in Melbourne, we did the same thing. Law of the land has to be followed. That's very clear to Secure people, and that's how we cruised on. And similar kind of protocols like we followed in India, we followed in UK, and successfully so. We never had any episode of a mass COVID even in our UK sites as well. Most of the people who can work from home, they were allowed to work from home.
Thank you, sir. Raman, I think Jay Kumar, I think that answers your question, right?
Just a moment.
Yes, sure.
So perhaps you could share the video with us. We can share it with the batch.
Yeah. I mean, even that video size is big. That is why we are facing problem to get it from the other device to this device. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Can you see the video?
Yes, sir. We can.
Okay, this is the team B3. So the B team working fortnight on the third occasion. So देखो आ सकता है. So hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay.
Sir, you can share the video later with us. We can share it with the batch if you want.
Yeah, it is just 2-minute thing. It is इधर गया.
मेल किया मैंने आपको लिंक.
Okay. So I will narrate the thing. This is our plant people working during the operations of plant. So and they are also sharing their experiences, what I said. So you can see in the background, there is a plant where, people are distanced between each other in a way, and they are talking about their achievements, and they're talking about, sorry guys, I will share it.
Yes, sir. Please do.
I will
Please.
share it. There is no point, because this is where, people are just talking. There are other. ऐसे करेंगे बंद इसको sharing.
So the screen is not shared right now, so it's fine.
Okay. Any questions? Any other questions?
So I think there are no more questions. If there are any more questions, sir, we'll compile them and send it over to you on mail, sir.
There are some questions in the chat box. How the remote working has challenged the skill set requirement for human workforce. Actually, there are two types of, workforce that we have. One is the people who are at the last stage, who are working with hands, converting the components into product. So that's a workforce. So there is a skill set for them, which we have our internal setup of training and development, and we continue to do that whenever we have new hires coming into that. So that is for the operators. Bear in mind, we have more than 50% of our workforce as female workforce, coming from various parts of Udaipur and nearby panchayats and villages, 100 kilometers radius. They live here, work here, and they also do, their studies in the city. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. For the workforce which are working from home, which are higher skill set. So as I already said, that we divided the people into two groups, working from home and working from the location. So the work has been divided, and it's not that people who are working from home are forgotten about. Every day they will be engaged in some or the other activities with their managers and with their teams.
Learn from home.
And they continue to learn from home and work activities on those days. So we didn't face any great challenge in that. In fact, we started all our normal activities of recruitment, training, induction. We did the entire induction for the first few days, 2 weeks of induction for our GTs, the fresh engineers, online. So there were 60 of them, and there were around 20 days of continuous induction given to them online. And then they were brought in the factories and the respective location in the smaller groups, because we didn't want 60 of them to sit in one place and continue to do that induction.
I think there are no more questions, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the insightful session and for addressing the students' queries.
Thank
We
you
hope
so
for a
much.
continuous engagement with Secure Meters in the days to come, sir. It has been a pleasure interacting with you, and we hope to host you again, sir. Thank you.
And I was talking to Kavita that I'm more than happy, because I see a lot of you who are from engineering background. Of course, who are intending to become big managers. But some of you perhaps are still from the core of your heart or engineers. I have become an HR business partner, but core of me is a mechanical engineer. You know that? And so I would love to host you to see this plant whenever it allows to. Honestly speaking, we were looking forward to this particular session, because me and Kavita were talking that this will be a physical session.
Yeah.
But
So that was, so
that
due to
is
the circumstances, so it was not said.
things have become haywire in Udaipur.
Thank you, sir. Definitely, sir. We'll definitely love to visit your plant, sir, soon once the situation eases down. Thank you, sir. Thank you again, and thank you all the attendees for attending the session. Thank you, sir. Thank you again.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.